Shalom Israel. With ISUPK, started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, 1969. Where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are and indeed make up the 12 tribes of Israel. If you're not under the ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana, you're not under the truth. Get in the truth. www.isupk.com, www.isupk.com. Grab a flyer when we're out there speaking on the street. Hit us up on the on our .com. Let's talk about the things that you need to talk about to get into school. You know, get your name. Sisters, get your name. And brothers, get your name so you can get into the school. Change that old worldly name that you got. Because that's what, it's about laying aside all the weights. That's what we're going to talk about tonight a little bit. Then we're going to go on a little bit more with some more things. I'm not going to get too detailed with it. But I'm Officer Kazak Shapar, Bashem Yahushai, Barakatham, to all of the men in ISUPK. Yahushemar Bashem Yahushai, to all the sisters. We salute you, to all the sisters in ISUPK. Come get in class and join us as we break down some scriptures as we talk about LASHAWAN QADASH class. Now, LASHAWAN QADASH is translated as the holy language, a holy tongue. You know, that's what we use it as, the holy tongue. So we're going to, and as I'm looking across one of the scriptures, Hebrews 12:1. We'll go over it real quick here. Let's see, we have somebody, see we have in class, I think we have Sister, first one in class here. We got Sister Shirah, Sister Dana McCall. Yeah, Sister Dina, Sister Shirah, already in class. Starting off here real fast here. Basically, when we saw the Bible talks about lay aside every weight, that's found in Hebrews 12:1. Let's find that. Hebrews 12:1. Hebrews 12:1. Let's read. I'll give you time to look it up. Basically, it's going to pretty much go over to lay aside all the weights, the sin that so easily beset you. And we're going to run this race a little better. So we're going to talk about it tonight and then how we translate a little bit. I kind of threw a little translation up there in the mix. And also we'll talk a little bit about, you know, some of those weights. We'll let you guys pick out some of those weights, okay? Like, you know what they are. What do you think a weight is? We'll write them on the board and let you guys understand that's what we have to get rid of. If we want to enjoy this new kingdom and be counted as a brother and sister in the new kingdom, you got to lay aside these weights, man. You know, lay aside the weights. As a matter of fact, lay aside those sins. In other words, give it up, put it down, lay aside, shapat. Well, anyway, let's read the Hebrews. I hope you guys are following me. Let's see who else we have in class here. I try to acknowledge all the people that's in class. Dina, Shalom, sister. Okay, good. Proper, good. Good. Okay. Lamar, David. Okay, good. That's two of the sisters here. One of the troopers, sisters. Let's find it, Hebrews 12:1. We'll let you look it up. Make sure you get it. Hebrews 12:1. Make sure you guys can find it. Okay? All right. Let's lock it for that for a second. Hebrews 12:1. If you got it? Okay, it says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin. Weight and sin. Weight and sin. That's what it's saying. Which does so easily beset us. You know what those weights are in your life that you can't put down. You know what they are. Before they turn into sour grapes in your mouth, that's so to speak. You know, that's what I'm hearing. Weight and sin that so easily beset. That means that there's some sin out there that it don't take much to tick you off, don't take much to start you in the wrong direction. The Bible says you need to lay that down. lay aside, give it up, put it down. Translation that for Hebrew, shapaf. You know, shapaf. Give it up. And then, you know, put it down. I didn't because it's in some of that's in Greek, so I kind of translated in Hebrew, shapaf. That means give it up, put it down. It's another way of saying it. That so easily beset you, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. This is what Paul is saying. Let's run with patience. It's going to take some patience to put all these things down, and you got to jump right on, but it's going to take some time. You know, it ain't going to be like overnight where you're going to give these things up. It's going to take some patience to lay some things down, you know, to lay aside some of these weights that so easily beset you. You don't just wake up one night, I got the victory, you know. Hey, you have to lay it down. So let's find that scripture again. We'll let everybody come up with the Hebrews 12 and 1, and we'll read it again. Let's see who else we got in class here. Okay, people, Sister Barah Labah, all the sisters, and we'll get you guys involved in class here. Barah. Okay, we appreciate you coming in class. The brothers, sisters here. We joined the LASHAWAN QADASH class Friday night with Officer Kazak Shaparna 50. The South Carolina ISUPK going strong. Monday through Friday, we doing class. We do camp on Saturday. We do Sabbath class in the mornings, Saturday mornings, I'm sorry. And you can stop by this class in Simpsonville over here. That's where we are. Just check us out, okay, in South Carolina. Go online, www.isupk.com, and find out, talk to one of the officers, find out how you can get in class, get involved. Okay, let's read it again. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about. And it would help you guys, you know, take your notes, take down some of these scriptures here, and men and women, you know, Ak and Akim. You take Akwafim, Slakim. Take down some of these notes and jot down some of these scriptures, especially the translation here that helps you with your Hebrew. That's why it helps me all the time to know, because it gives me a memory of what these words mean, and it helps to understand what they mean in Hebrew. Okay, so I got them in green here, and it says, lay aside what? Every weight or some of the weights. That says every. Kal, K-A-L. Every. That's how it's translated. Of course, we'll get into kakar, which means weight. It's something that holds you down, something that's keeping you, and you missing the mark. Some of these people still stepping up there in the Sunday Christian church. Lord have mercy. Clapping on, I want to get to heaven anyway. Flapping on wings. You got craziness, simplicity. You know, how long? Let's lay these things aside. Give it up. Put it down. Christian church, it ain't going to do nothing but hurt you. That's all it is. You can't learn anything like that. Just lock you for a second. Let's see what else we got. Dina, yes, I know it's kind of hard. I'll try to see if I can make some adjustments here. But it is kind of hard there, sis. It is rough. It's kind of hard, but I don't know if that's a little better. I tried to adjust it a little bit more. Dina, Sister Dina, I tried. Let me know if you can see that a little better. It's far back because that's where we had adjusted for the platform, and that's beyond my control. But I hope you guys can see that a little better. It is far back. It's lucky. Give me one more shot here. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Nothing I can do about that. That's about as close as I can get it. It's lucky, but okay. Sorry about that, Sister Dana. Let's see, we have Adrian here, checking in from Charleston. Just make your adjustments, kind of like do the best you can. Put it in rearrange your iPhone or Android sideways and maybe so you can see a little better. We'll try to make that better next week. Try to get a little closer to the board here because it is far. It's locked. See, what was I saying? Okay, yes. To translate some of these words, I'll write bigger. Shapat. Let's just write this bigger. Shapat. When we say lay aside, we're on Hebrews 12:1. Lay aside. Let's translate that a little better. Let's write big so you can see it. How about that, Dana? That better? I'll just have to turn around and write it bigger. Shapath, like that. That better? Shapath. I wrote real big so you can see it a little better there. Think you can see it a little on there? Let me know. Oh, thank you. All right, Dana. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm trying to do the best I can for my students. I hope that's a little better. Next week we'll get this board a little bigger and a little better so I can write bigger and get the board a little closer to us. Just bear with me, okay? But anyway, shapath. It means to lay aside because we have weights, weights on us. People going to church, people eating pork. And I'm talking about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I ain't even worried about these other people out here. And the Lord views them as spittle anyway. You know, 2 Ezra 6:54. It's just, they don't even count. I'm talking about our people. Let's lay aside. This is what Paul's saying. Look at it. Let's lay aside all the weights that so easily beset us. Let's read it again. Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, and let us lay aside every weight and sin. The weights and sin. You know, there's sins. Oh, wow. You guys know what they are. Sins, I mean, and weights that weigh you down. Things that, like, you every time you turn around, it may be a lying tongue, you know. Could be some of anything. It could be, you know, something that you just got it in your way to keep you from running this race. Let's finish reading it. It says, and sin, which doth so easily beset you. That means if it easily besets you, that means it's right before you. That means it's something that you just can't help. You got somebody tick you off in the wrong way. One of the brothers and sisters tick you off the wrong way. You gotta fight, you know. Now, let's run this race. What it says this. Let us run this race with patience. Let us run with patience the race. Sloppy. Let us run with race. Sloppy. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us. You know, all the way from the top, Commander Joe Yohana, given the directive to be in charge of the Hebrew Israelites on ISUPK. That's us. That's all these other factions out here don't even count. They know what they need to do. But on ISUPK, Commander Joe Yohana, that's a directive who you need to follow. And of course through your captains, of course through your officers, of course through your all of your men. But let's run this race with patience, okay? Let's lock you for a second. Have some more students coming in class here to join us. Let's run this race with patience, you know. Y'all can just grab a chair. Like it says, come on in, sis, brothers, brethren and sis. And let's run this race with patience. And I'll read it one more time. Let's go, let's do it again here. Let's move this out of the way here. It's always good to know that we have students in class, online, and also with us in class live here. And we're talking about Hebrews 12:1. And let's reiterate it again. It's important to make sure that your sins and your weights, those things that easily beset you, that means easily make you angry, easily tick you off, easily get you to the point where you just, you just can't function. The Most High said, put that down. Because if it's easily besetting, you can't run no race with patience like that. So let's explore this a little bit here. Lay aside, that word is shapat. I'm trying to write big so people can understand it. We'll do another color here. Let's do a call. It's just every. Let's write it again here. Let's make it real big. Call. Like that. Call. And this is, of course, might not have room. Call. Now, if you notice the word every, call, it's one sound. So it's ka. It's ka. The board is somewhere. But if you notice, the ka, right there, there's that ka right there. Ka. And that's for every. So when you say lay aside, that means to give it up, to put it down. And that word is sha, hot, every, call. And then of course we have another word over here. It's kakar. It's wait. So we urge you guys to take notes so you have it better for your notes. You have better understanding. You be able to tell me a little bit. I'll write kakar a little bit bigger here so you can see it. We'll write it in. Let's see. Let's write it in another color. Let's write it in red. Ka. Like that. And then we'll say it's got another C, look like a C, but it's actually a K. Then we have, of course, that. And we'll let you guys put the, how do you, online there, if you were to, let's back up for a second. Let's back all the way up to Shaphat. Shah. That's, this is what we're doing right now. I've got the Paleo-Hebrew here. We're not doing the Syrian right now, but the Paleo. Shah-Pah. So if you got, what is this called? Remember this upside down? I mean this upside down U? Anybody remember what that's called? Sis?
I think it's called independent.
Oh, you close. But you're close. She said dependent, so if it's not independent, what's the other one?
Dependent.
Right. But in this case, it is independent. You're right. So independent. Okay? Independent, connected. That's a refresher, sort of like, okay? And the guys online, I want you guys to make sure you're writing. Dina has independent. She's exactly right. Independent connected, right. So on Shabbat, you use it because it's by itself. Shah. That's what you hear. Shah. The Hebrew word. For give it up or put it down and lay aside. It's almost the same translation. So I wrote it down 3 times, but in different ways. Excuse me. Salakia. So independent connected. The sis was right. Independent. That means it's standing by itself. So let's do this. And she's right. Matter of fact, you know what? For her just coming out there right there, we got to give her a hand clap on that one. That was good. For her to come up and to memorize that. These young students here. Okay, what about pa? The pa. See this right here? Pa. That pa. That symbol right there recognizes in Hebrew, it is pa. Okay? That one. And then if you join it to the T, that's, what is this called? Now, if this upside down is independent, what would that be called?
Dependent.
Dependent. She's on it. She got a little money right there. Yeah, go ahead and give her a round of applause. That's good. That's good. So it's dependent. That's all right. So it's dependent. And why is it called dependent? Because the pa and the tha right here need each other to make a sound. That's really all it is. That's all it is. So we join them together. What this is, that's why you put that little U, little smiley face to join these two together. Y'all get it? Pa. Shapah. It's not ah. We don't say and in Hebrew, we say ah. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ga, ta, ya, ka, la, manasa, a, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, tha. That's how the alphabet, you say alphabet, but that's how the Hebrew characters are pronounced. Okay, here's one. Let's see. Since we got class here, this is online also. I want you guys to remember tell me how many vowels, erase this. How many vowel sounds do we have in Hebrew and what are they? Y'all think about it a second. Raise your hand. Don't spread it out loud. Just raise your hand. Fairly connected. You're right, Dina. Exactly right. Got a sister Ayana in class also. We acknowledge her. I think that's Shah's. Yes, sir. Dr. Zah.
There's a white teacup.
Say it again.
White teacup. What? White teacup.
What did I say? What was I talking about? What was the question? Oh, yeah. How many vowels? This is what we're talking about now. How many vowels? And what are they? Sis.
I know how many vowels.
How many?
There's.
In Hebrew now. Not in our English sound, not the A-E-I-O-U. We're talking about in Hebrew. Remember?
I gotta remember that.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, sis.
Is there 5?
No, you're talking about the 5. I think you're talking about how many ending connectors there are, or ending sounds. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about strictly how many vowels. I'll write them on the board here in a second. Yes.
I think it's 2.
That's 2. Sis, okay, good. Get us a hand. Now here's something. Now tell me how many are this, sis?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you say E in Hebrew?
Who?
How do you say the letter E in Hebrew?
E?
Uh-huh.
I don't think we have an E in Hebrew. See, we just happen just because it's in American language it's A-E-I-O-U, but we don't have an E in Hebrew. That's in the Slavic, the language that comes from the fools over there in Slavic. But they are the bad country that stole our language, okay? I'll say that. And they are foolish. So go ahead, sis. What are the vowel sounds? And of course, online, I want you guys to also tell me also. Ayana said 2. Ayana said 2. Well, what are they, Ayana? Go ahead, write them down. What are they? Put it in the chat. Tell me what they are. In class also. Tell me.
Ah and I.
Is that right, Ayana? She says here. Barak. Sarah.
Sure.
Sarah. Okay. She said, Sister Sarah said, ah, and what else?
I.
Ah. And it's important to know that because when you're pronouncing something in Hebrew, it'll help you, yes, sis. It'll help you understand what the sounds are because there's only 2 sounds you're going to make that are vowels. Okay? All right. That's ah and I. And sometimes I'll be lazy and say the A and I. That's not right. It's ah and I. Okay? Those are 2 vowels. So I'll erase it off. That's good to know. All right. Before we get going any further, let's refresh again. How many characters, sounds in LASHAWAN QADASH are there? Oh, let's prod your memory. This is a matter of taking notes. How many? Write this down in your notes, sis. Your ah and I, so you'll know it next time. Always write that down. Yes.
14.
No.
6 now.
Huh?
16.
Online, y'all help them out. How many? What did we say? How many characters are there? Now in the in the American language, how many characters are there? I think it's 26, right?
Yeah.
26 sounds? 26 alphabet. So in the LASHAWAN QADASH, yes, sis.
I think it was supposed to be 27.
You're close. But that ain't it. You close though. Yes, sis.
26?
No, you're guessing now. Because you don't have your notes. See how you have to take your notes, yes, sis.
I love my dad.
Nah, you're guessing right there. But you're close. So let's see. There's somebody online. It's not a problem. Because it's important to understand. That lets me know when you study these, I just went over them, I just repeated them. That lets you know how many they are and what they sound like. That's how we break down these words. Shapath, call, and kakah. Lay us out every word that easily beset us. Okay? So let's do this. Online, do we have it online? Do I have an answer online yet? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Dina, Ra, Ayana, Bara, Sarah, all of y'all, and the sisters here, all the sisters and brothers in class. I want to know how many characters are there in Hebrew.
Why does that look like a 4?
This one?
Yeah.
Because that's what an R looks like in Hebrew. See, we'll get to that in a second. Very good. Now we're using as a springboard to Hebrews 12:1. Let's lay aside every weight. Lay aside every weight that's easily beset us. I don't have all the room to put easily beset on the board, so I said put the basic thing. Lay aside all the weight. So what? That means give it up. We're going to give up something. We're going to talk about what we're going to give up in a second here, okay? Something that you don't need. So anyway, how about this? Go ahead, sis.
22.
Yeah, she's got it right. Give her a hand. 22. She got everybody online. Sarah's on it today. That's 22. Very good. That's 22. Let's see who else got it online. 22. Ayana, you got it. That's it. Adrian got it. Adrian in class. Got to write her name up there. Adrian. That's 22. It's important to know that. Know your Hebrew. All right, let's move on then. Okay. Now, and let's get to, so now that we went over Shapath and independent connect, let's talk about some more. Why do we put right here over the word call? Why do we put, it's correct. Why do we do that? Why do we join all that together? Yes.
Is it because it has one sound?
You got it right. This sister been on the money, I tell you. You just keep clapping. She said, because, and that's important for people to understand. Some people don't understand that. It's one, what'd you say?
Sound.
One sound. Let me make sure I get the word right. She's exactly right. One sound. Okay? One. The word for one is a cod. We'll go over that a little later on. The word for one is a cod, but we'll get into that a little later on here. It's one sound. That's important to understand. Call, not call. It's call. There's 3 letters there. There's 2. Can I do that right? This ain't right. Lock it. That's not right. We don't need an A there. I apologize. Salaki. I wrote it down wrong. All you need here is the ka and the la, because ka itself has a K and a A on it. Sometimes I do that not thinking. That's the correct way right there, sis. Change your notes here if you have to. Salaki. Ka and la. Why did I do that? Because that A that I thought I was writing in there, you don't need it. The ka itself has an A. That's all. So I just wrote it down wrong. So even a teacher can mess up some things. Sorry. But I caught it. Okay, good. Let's move on. Online, keep up with me online, students in class. Because it's one sound. Call. There are a lot of words that have one sound. Okay, so let's move that up. Let's move on. What about this right here? The word wait. Make sure you guys write these down because this is like your vocabulary. I'm giving you some vocabulary, some understanding, some we're gonna get into tenses. And as a matter of fact, this sentence is, let's see if somebody can guess. Is this talking about past tense, present tense, or future tense? When they make the statement, Paul made the statement right here, was he telling the people, when he was writing in Hebrews, did he tell them in past tense, present, or future? When he said, lay aside every weight, he said, oh, you can do it right now, or you can do it tomorrow, you can do it, or you should have done it yesterday. Which tense is he talking about? Present. Get that sister hand. Present tense. Why? Why'd you say that, sis?
Because
he's exactly right. He's directly telling you to do this right now. Lay aside every weight. He ain't talking about, I mean, it may be a prophecy that got to us, but by the time you read it, he's telling you, he ain't talking about no past. It's locked. Okay, be careful. Be careful, sis. You got this right here, okay? All right. Now he ain't talking about no future direction. Although prophecies were, you know, he's talking about right now. The sis said present tense, and that's exactly right. When you say you talking about lay aside every weight, call shapah, call kakar. So when they come up and say shapah, call kakar, that means lay aside every weight. Put them down, throw them away. All right, and kakar. Let's get into weight. Let's find out what is this weight. All right. What are they talking about when they're talking about weights? Anybody online? When the Bible says kakar, when it's talking about weights, what are they talking about? Are they talking about the put down the strong weights? Okay, what are they talking about when they saying let's read the text. Let's read it and let's read it. Let's read it. Hebrews 12:1. Let's find out online. Tell me what they're talking about in weights when they say lay it outside this weight. Wherefore seeing we also, Hebrews 12:1, follow along with me. Wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which doth easily beset us, and let us run this race with patience that is set before us. So when they're talking about weight, let's concentrate. What weight are they talking about? Yes, sis.
Is weight like a demon?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Something that's like a demon or something that gets in your way, something that's bogging you down, that's right. That's exactly right. Like a demon, that's very good. All those, put aside all those demons. Anything holding you back, Sister Dana said. That's right, anything. And then the sister said that can be translated like a demon. Let's put them aside. Put aside these weights. Because he will cause you to do what, sis? To sin. And that's exactly what this is saying. Let us lay aside all the weights before they cause you to do what?
Sin.
To sin. Okay? So put them down. And let's run the race with patience set before us. You got to be patient. Be careful now, son. Okay? All right? And so let's get into this word kakar. How do we break this down? Should we do this? Ka. Like this. Is this right? Y'all let me know. Yes or no in the chat. Kan Allah. Burdens. Sister Adrian said burdens. Yeah, we can say that. I can say that. Lay aside the burdens of things that are putting you down. You know, you burden with it. You know, let's be careful now, so you're going to hurt yourself, man. In present tense, it's telling you, as the sister said in the present tense, it's telling you to lay aside every weight that easily beset you, because they're burdens, they're sins, demons, anything that's causing you to easily sin. Let's see what else somebody got over here. Everything that's not of God. That's right. Who did that? Lamar David. Lamar, I think you spell your name L-O. Everything's not of God. Okay, we can say that one too. That's good. We got some good things going on here. Well, let's find out. All right, everything that's not of God. We can do that one. Very good. All right, now, so I put down an independent connector here because it's by itself. Ka. Since that's what weight means, it's the kind of weight. It's not the kind of weight like a. Actually, really, this word ka is actually translated into talent, and that is a real weight. But it's just like you dragging a weight, drudgery, you know. But that's the word is really translated here to ka is like a talent, and a talent is really actually a weight. I got the room to put it, but that's what it really is. It's a talent. Not the talent like you have like singing or dancing or whatever. A talent is like something that weighs a lot. It's a unit of measure of talent, okay? I don't confuse you, but that's what that word is. But that's the word I use, kakar, okay? It just means anything that's weighing you down or talenting you down or just holding you down. In the present tense, put it aside. You know? And the culmination of it is usually some sort of demon translated that's holding you down, holding you back. Very good. Okay? All right. And then, of course, I put car, K-A-R, over here. Car. Then I put, as the sister said, why is that 4 looks like a R? Because there it is right there. Okay? So it's ka, by itself, independent sound. And ka, there it is again, it's 2 K's. See that K? K-A, ka, R, ra. That makes sense? Very good. All right, let's see. Let's put down something else here. You give you a chance to write that down while I pick this up right here. Why? Why do we need to put them down? It's obvious, because they weigh us down. Let's use some other analogy here. We'll erase this. Okay. Very good. Class. We'll also have the understanding that, you know, what are some weights? Y'all name some weights. Name some things that can bring you down, put you down. Yes?
Demons.
Yeah, that's a weight, yeah. But what is this demon? Yes, sis?
If you don't pass the test, that's bad.
So how would you translate that? Because you didn't study?
Yeah.
Huh? So what would you say about that? What do you say about that weight? If you don't study, it'd be lazy, right?
Yeah.
Slothful. So what's translated into something like slothful?
Being
Slothful or lazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a weight. It can translate to be a demon. I mean, eventually, yes, sis. Huh?
Why did you put a light over that?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna put another something there. All right. How about there are some people, some of us people, not, of course, not none of us, of course, but there's still some people out here still wind themselves going to church on what? What day? Some people still going to church on Sunday day.
Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay, these are the weights now. These things just kind of like sour grapes in our mouth, sort of, right? Yes, sis.
I know another one.
What? What's that? Go ahead.
Celebrating stuff you're not allowed. So
Huh?
celebrating stuff like Halloween or
Christmas.
Very good. So we're going to say the celebration, right? Of what? Of holidays, right? HOLIDAYS.
Because they're sinners.
Right? Like Christmas, you know, what else?
Halloween.
Halloween,
Turkey.
Halloween, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? All these crazy days that we do. Yes, sis?
Like selling drugs and stuff.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, that's some showing up weight right there. Drugs. That's a showing up weight, sis. That's right. And all these things. Yes, sis.
There's also pork.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put that one down in a second here. Hold that thought. We get into the foods here. These things are rye. What does that mean? Rye. This word is a good word for your vocabulary.
They're sinners.
Well, let's put it down this way. Okay, let me show you what it is. The word actually translated these things are what? And that's what in Hebrew it said rye. Okay, write that down. Right, make sure you put that in your vocabulary. Rye, anger. Dina said anger. To worry. Is a way? Yeah, to worry. She's right. To worry. To worry about nothing. To worry. I think sister said anger. Now sometimes you can get angry and not sin. But you're talking about this anger all the time. This weight just holding you down. I'm angry. I'm just mad all the time. The Bible says even if you get angry and sin not. You know, because sometimes anger is necessary. But you know it can be a weight. We're just putting up things if you know these things to put you down. Boy, did I spell worry wrong, didn't I? There you go. How about that? That right?
No, we need to I.
Jesus. Y'all correct me now. That better?
Yeah.
Get my spelling here. Okay. So all these things are bad, you know. Of course, you know, going to church on Sunday and all that. Those are weights, okay? Let's get into some more. Online. Let me write down let me bring something into play here. Let me bring a sentence in Hebrew. What we are doing? We are doing this. We are producing. We're producing what? Rye. We're producing bad. We don't want to do this. Bad grapes. Anybody know a bad grape? Sour. Bitter, right?
Yes.
We don't want to produce. Anybody ever taste a bad grape? What it tastes like?
Nasty.
Pitiful. And that's what these weights, these sins, these gods, these religions, these false beliefs, Sunday churches, right? You know, because the earth is out of order. We're out of order. So we need to make sure we stay in order. Keep your bayath or your bayatha's house in order. Stay there. That means if you got a mama, if you have a daddy, follow that daddy. Okay, because that daddy is leading that mother to have a follow order in the bayath, in the house. Yes, sis.
What does bayatha mean?
Bayath? It means house.
Oh.
Bayath is house. Since you asked, and I'll write it down. Okay? And everything I put on the board can be a good vocabulary. This house. Okay? In your house, keep it in order. All right. So let's go. Let's find out. All right. But Yahweh's house. Let's investigate this a little bit further. Let's find out what these words mean in Hebrew. Produce, korab, or we're producing, korab. Let's find out here, korab. But you gotta say ing. You gotta put that producing it's a tense. It's producing a present tense. It's aknak nawa korab yum. Korab yum, because I pluralize it. We're producing, so I have to kind of give me some room to write this. Ooh, do I got room? We are, yeah, I guess. Ak, nak, nawa, nawa. Okay? That means we're producing. That's a present tense. That's what we're doing now. We're producing. You find this like in Hosea 10:1, as I've listened to her, and found out that we're producing these bad grapes. And then it says, we are aknak nawa korab yum. We're producing. And then it's rye. Remember that was for bad? Remember that, sis? Rye for bad. And grapes. Here's a word. We're going to put nab. God, I just learned this for myself. But, so if I was going to make that plural, how would I make grapes plural? Anything you want to make something plural, just put, in this case, yum. Okay? A nabyum. So a nabyum is plural for what? Grapes. So then you're producing these bad grapes. And a bad grape, of course, just won't fit in your mouth right. It ain't gonna be right. So let's read that. Let's read that. In Hosea 10:1. Yes.
Why does that I look like a lowercase L?
Here?
The other one.
Right there?
The other one.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, I can fix that. So should it be like this? That better? All right. All right. Okay. Anabium. Okay. Let's look it up. Let's look at. I've got any understanding. If I got the understanding right, let's go and find out. Let's read a little bit on it. As I was reading, as I was directed. So let's look it up. And Israel is an empty vine. They ain't got no grapes. It's like we've heard. Just going over something that one of the higher ups have said, and I'm kind of like pulling some experts from the higher chain of thought. He bringeth forth fruit unto himself. According to the multitude of the fruit, he has increased his altars. That means he's in these pitiful Christian churches. According to the goodness, his land they have made. Of his land they have made goodly images. So they've made good images. The multitude of fruit have increased the altars. That means it's like coming along. It's like a grapevine produces grapes. Okay, so if he's got all these bad images, empty grapevine, that ain't what a grapevine is supposed to do. What is a grapevine supposed to produce? Grapes. And not sour grapes, good succulent grapes, right? For somebody, that means Israel. Did it say in Hosea 10:1? Did it say the rest of the world? It said who? Right there, Israel. Israel. Who is Israel? us, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. So this text is talking about Israel. Make no mistake about it. It ain't talking about these other nations. Most I don't care about them. It said Israel is an empty vine. We're empty. Say we bringing forth fruit unto he bringeth forth fruit unto himself, according to the multitude of his fruit he have increased his altars. That mean he's got bad grapes on his vine, producing all these churches and T.D. Jakes understandings and Creflo Dollar understandings. That ain't what we should be doing. So I kind of wrote a sentence down here to kind of remind us of it a little bit. Aknawa, Korabyum, Rai, Anabyum. Yes, sis.
Why does the G on grapes look a little bit like a C?
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You fix that one too, sis. Like that? All right. Okay, so it's basically bad grapes is what we're doing. Bad understanding. Let's put down, okay, now we got to understand that. We'll let you guys write that down a little bit more. I'm sure we got it in your notes. Let's do this. Let's find out. Let's use a word. Let's find out. I know a lot of people, God forbid, Most High forbid, Yahweh forbid. In church, let's see if you use a word like false god or bad gods, and you say Abba Yum. That's plural. That's many gods, right? Abba Yum. That's many gods. Should we have many gods or one God? Or one Yahweh, right? Bashem Yahweh Shai, the name of Christ. We have one God, right? Let's find a text that fits that. Let's turn to Exodus 20:1. Let's find out in Exodus. Let's look that up. Exodus 20 online here and in class. Let's find out what the Most High say. I am the Lord thy God that brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. What did it say? Thou shalt have no other. What is Abba? God, right? What's Yam? It's plural, right? And it's plural, so that means this is plural tense, right there. No abyam, abayam. That's many God. No other gods or other God. You can say many or other. So if you do, they're going to be demons all in you. No other gods. The Most High don't want you to do that. Let's read it again. It's out of Exodus 20, verse 1 through, let's go to 1 and 3 in this case. And the Most High spake unto all these words, saying, I am the Lord I am the Yahweh thy power, or which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt. When were we in Egypt? Long time ago, right? Okay, are we in Egypt now in bondage right now?
Yes.
Yes, we are. This Babylon is called Egypt also. Okay, that's how we got here. We're thrown here. The Most High put us, and we'll read about that again. Let's read that one. Let's read that one here. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay, let's find that. Let's find it Exodus, Deuteronomy, 28. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Let's find out why this is Egypt. Okay, let's do Deuteronomy 28:68. Online, you guys get it? Deuteronomy 28:68. Let's find out why this is called Egypt. Okay? Let's find out. Many gods were in Egypt, right? Let's find out why this place is called Egypt. Since you brought it up, this is the question. Okay? In Egypt, we lived in Israel. The blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? Okay, that was you from Israel. Excuse me, Slocky. Here. that's us over here, like that, and of course you got Middle East. I mean, not Middle East, but Syria. This is Israel. Then you got Egypt, Africa down here. Okay. Here's Egypt right there. Now all they had to do is walk to Egypt, right, to get there, right? So why does the Bible say this? Let's read it. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord on the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt with ships. That means he's going to sail all the way across here. There's South America. And what is this called?
North America.
Pardon my writing there. That's North America. But that's where this ship sailed from. The Most High said, I'm going to put you guys in some bondage again. All right? And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And that was called what?
Transatlantic slave.
Transatlantic slave trade. Give that sister a hand. Chattel slavery. Transatlantic. Very good. Transatlantic. Slovakia. Slave trade. Very good. Okay? That's what it is. And so in Deuteronomy 28:68, that's how we got it. Let's finish reading it. And the Most High shall bring you to Egypt again with ships, by the way I spake of, that thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies. That's how we know. As what? Bondmen and bondwomen. That means it took women like you guys and men like me and made us slaves. That's punishment for us not. Of course, we don't get into that, but that's a whole nother class and topic, of course. But the Egypt, so let's go back. Why? Here's Israel. You can walk into Egypt right here. So the Most High wasn't talking about walking from Israel to Egypt. He's talking about putting us in transatlantic slave trade. All the way from here, all the way to there. That's why it's called Egypt. And Egypt means what?
Bondage.
We are bondage. That's right. We are in bondage. I don't have a word right. Yeah, him put it right here. We're in bondage. Okay? Bondage. Very good. We're in bondage, okay? And that's why? Mainly because we were sitting up here, all those nations that were around us, and we were sitting up here having our little time. We got out of there in West Africa, and we start, from all the things that we've done from Israel now, we start worshiping Abayam, many gods. Okay? Plural in that sense. Producing sour grapes. No grapes on the vine, you know. So that's one thing that we did. And that's why they call it the transatlantic slave trade, of course, because we were we came here in bondage. We were put here for a reason. Okay? Kind of sidebar a little bit. But that's what we've done. Okay? So let's find out something else here. Did I finish writing this sentence? Yeah. Okay. Sister said, what's another weight, sis? You said something about what? Pork or something. Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that?
I said something we cannot eat pork is
Huh?
a sin.
Say that again.
Eating pork is a sin.
Eating pork is definitely a sin. And they call it swine and pork. Let's look up the definition. I'm sorry, let's look up the, what is that? I got that written down somewhere in here. I know in my notes. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just look it up. Thought I had it written down. Let's look up I think it's ka. I think the word for pork is ka. Katahar. Let's find out. Let me look it up here. Let me just look it up real quick. Bear with me for a second. It's locked. I'll find it here in a second here. Okay? There we go. Right here. Okay. So I can bear with me here. Downloads. Okay, gotta look it up. I thought I had that word written down. Let's see. I know I just wrote it down. What I did with it. Oh, there it is. Let's see. There it is right there. I'm sorry. Thought I had it written down. It's Kazayar. That's how it's halfway, right? Kazayar. Pig is not something you're supposed to be eating, of course, you know. And I'm pretty sure most people know this, and you're not supposed to be eating it in any form. Not even supposed to be touching this stuff. It's bad for you. So we say ka. Let's break this word down here. Pork, swine. Let's see. Ka. And then it's za. Then we have over here we have a ya. See? Ya. Let's see. That right? Yeah, that's right.
So like you said,
Yes.
it's Kazaya. Yar?
Yes.
Kazaya.
Kazayar. Yes.
Is it bad to have a pet pig?
Yes. You know why?
Like,
Because they tell you not to touch it. Right? Kazayar. Let's find that. Since see, these are good questions that we're asking here. Kazayar. What was that right here? Looks like they hold Mrs. Kazayar. Right here. R. Then we'll find out. And I want you guys online and also, hold Mrs. Also be breaking down what the independent connectors right here. Let's find that text. It says Acts. Let's find that in Leviticus. You know, Leviticus 10th chapter, I believe. Let's find out where that is. It's a very good question. She asked the question was, you know, having a pet pig. You know, let's find out where that is. Let's find out in Leviticus where that is. Kazayar, pork or swine. Okay? Or the words translated also pork. Let me write a little better. Right? All right, let's see here. Pork or swine. Yeah, you're not supposed to be touching these animals for no reason, you know. They're made to clean the streets and clean up stuff. All right? Let's find it in Leviticus. Hold this up, wait a minute. Let's find it over here. I believe it's 10th. What is it? Yeah. And you shall not. Is it 11? I'm sorry, maybe 11. Leviticus 11. Okay, there it is right there. There it is, 11. Leviticus 11 chapter says this. And the swine, right? Though he divided the hoof and cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Let's read that again. Leviticus 11 and 7. You can write that down if you want to. Leviticus 11:7 is talking about pork, swine, kazayar. Okay? So online, I guess I want you guys to be breaking that down. Tell me what the Hebrew and connectors are for this right here in Paleo Hebrew. Tell me what the Hebrew connectors are for that. Independent, write them down. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and he is cloven-footed, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. That means he doesn't chew. He got a split hoof, like that. But he don't chew the cud like a cow. You know, cow got different stomachs where they burp the food up and then they chew it again to really digest it. A pig don't do that. He just rooter to the tutor. He just eat and let go. That's just where it is. I'm just, being prolific there. That's what it is. And understanding there, in my words there. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he's unclean to you. So we know that much of it, right? Let's figure out why. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. So they are unclean to you. So now can you have a pet pig?
No.
You can't touch it?
I never wanted one.
No, I know you didn't, but you said you asked the question, right? Yeah, of course, and that's good. That's good for class to let other. Of course not. We don't do that. But this let all of the ISUPK know, people who just starting out, should I have a pet pig? That's right. That's a very good question. Some people need to know that. Yes, sis.
I have another question. Like, for example, there's people who have pet crabs and stuff. Is that bad to have as well?
Pet crabs. I don't know. I'm going to get into that one. You can't eat them. You mean like for a science project or something like that?
No, there's people who have it.
Probably not. I wouldn't entertain the thought crabs and lobsters and shrimps and things like that. Now, you got to understand something. If you get them and you put them in an aquarium and you're trying to look at them, that's one thing. I don't want to get into that, but that's a whole nother question. But you're trying to see what the ecology is of that particular world, which we get into another word called world. Cosmos. That's their cosmos. That's their little world. Right? That's their little world. That's how they see things. You got the fish swimming around. And of course you understand this. You can have an aquarium with things you can't eat. Shark. Catfish in there. You grab him in a little bag, pour him in there, he's enjoying his world, he ain't bothering nobody. So, I've had it before, but it's not something you just go pick up and say, I'm hungry. And grab him out of there and start chopping on him and pulling on, because a shrimp is what? Likened to what?
Roaches.
Like a big roach? What's the scripture on that, sir? What you say, Dina? Explain yourself. On scripture on what, sis? On the pork? Are you saying the pork, sis? Write in the chat. The scripture on what? Which one? Since I'm gonna stick with Leviticus 11. We're gonna let it call it out. What's the scripture on what, Dina? On the pork? We just explained it, right? Tell me, be more explicit. When you say on scripture on that, what are you saying? On the pork, the swine, you find that in Leviticus, the 11th chapter. I'll write it down here. Right here. I believe that's what you're saying, so let's write it down. Leviticus, the 11th chapter, and in this case, for swine, 7th verse. Okay? I believe that's what you're saying. That's the scripture on that, Dina. Sister Dina. Pork, swine, things like that, you're not supposed to eat that. And it says it right here. Of their flesh you shall not eat, of their carcass you don't even touch it. They are unclean. It's a good animal made to clean. Just like shrimp, it's a good animal. It's made to clean the sea. A roach and a corn, it's a good animal. It's made to clean up the crumbs. But, but in the sea, let him stay in the sea and eat up everything. Yes, sis?
Sarah.
Huh? Oh. But we find that in Leviticus 11 chapter. I think that's what you got, sis. That's what you talking about? Yes, the pork. Okay, good, good. Yes. Dana, you'll find that. Let me put it up here on top so you can really see it. You'll find that in Leviticus, I'll write it out real big here. Leviticus, the 11th chapter, 7th, and I believe it's verse 8 also, where they talk about swine, just kind of, it'll be right next to it there. Let's see, where was that? Yeah, okay. Leviticus chapter talks about all of the things that you can eat and clean and unclean. And the swine, though he be divided the hoof, he is cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He's unclean too. You can't eat that. And the swine, we call him kazayar. Kazayar. Okay? And here's the word. Let's break it down. But that's it. Let's break down what kazayar is. Ka, by itself, right here. Hebrew, ka, by itself. Independent connector. Right? Za, right here. Independent connector. Let me know if I'm right. Now, the last one, I want you guys to tell me on the chat and in class. Tell me what the last two are going to be. What do we do to them? Yah and Ra. Yes, sis. Dependent. She said, is that right online there? If it's independent or dependent, see if she's right. Ka, za, ya. Kazayar. That means pork or swine. Okay? These things you can't eat. You can't eat those. Can't even have a pet of them because you can't put them in an aquarium. You can't put them in an aquarium, so you definitely can't. Okay, so that's that word. But let me make sure. Let's check the chat again. I hope that answered your question, Sister Dina. Thank you. Yes. Anytime you want to find out, since we're on that, let's find out something else here. So I need some good questions. You guys will lead me another way. Have no other gods. All these things can be. Let's stick with this for a second. Since you guys are asking questions around that, I mean, I'm glad that we're talking about this because we need to know. If some people need to know in class, let's find it out. Instead of going, we'll take class the direction it goes. Since we're in Leviticus 11 chapter, let's do this. Okay? In that case, swine, we talked about that you can't eat it. Okay? Now let's find out something else here. What about what kind of fish should you be eating? Since y'all brought that up, let me see. Let's put down here. Let's go. We got the hands raised here. Let's go to fish. I gotta look the word up here. The fishes of the sea. Yes, I saw her hand. What's your name, sis?
Ayana.
Ayana. I saw yours first. Go ahead.
Salmon.
Huh?
Salmon.
Okay, and what's the characteristics of salmon? Yeah. You're right. Salmon is good. I'll put that down. Salmon, trout, stuff like that. Yes, sis.
Oh, so can I say okay, Leviticus 11 and 10 say.
11 and 10, right. We're still in Leviticus. You're exactly right.
And
Go
all
ahead.
that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters.
That's right.
It shall be abomination to you.
Abomination. That's right. So what the characteristics with the sis, she's right. Leviticus 11 and 10. If these fish ain't got no scales, No fins. What should we do with them?
Leave it there.
Leave it there. It's got a job. It's got a purpose. But its purpose is not for us to ingest. Right?
I would leave that on the side of the road.
Huh?
I would leave that on the side of the road.
Sis says she leave it on the side of the road. Yeah. Holy Bible said, wait a minute. That's exactly right. Leave it on the side of the road. Right. Exactly. Because you can't do nothing with him. You know, these things, you know, in an aquarium, you see these fish, you see how they operate, but, you know, they're not made to be eaten. Leviticus tells you about it. So, let's look something up. Y'all got to write that down, Leviticus. That's for the fish. Since we're on that, for some reason, people want to talk about the bad grapes and the gods and things that easily beset us. So we got into pork, fish. Y'all on that food, which is good. That's good. Let's find out a little bit of Hebrew on this right here. Salaki for a second. Okay, let's see here. Let me find out here. Salaki for 1 second here. Salaki. Wait a minute. Where am I trying? Lock it for a second. Okay. Lock you. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's see here. I believe it's the ga. It's a lagaya. It's a verb. Fish is a noun, or it's the ga. Let me see here. I believe it's this word right here. Da, and then it's, let me see here. I got it. So right there, that would be like da, da. Okay? Well, fish is the gayam. Let me check this here. Check my spelling here on this. Make sure for a second. Where are we at here? The fins and scales, fowls, that's the 10th chapter. But the Bible describes it as fins and scales. That doesn't mean it is whatever it is, like a catfish. Can you eat a catfish?
No.
And then, of course, you can't eat anything. Why you can't eat catfish?
He doesn't have scales.
He ain't got no scales, but he got fins, right? But you can't eat them. You don't qualify. You ain't got no scales. You ain't got it. An eel. Name some other things that don't have fins and scales.
Puffer fish.
Puffer. Yeah, that's a poisonous fish, ain't it?
Yeah,
The
people.
puffer fish, like when them fish stickers on them. Yes. Go ahead.
Like a shark.
A shark. That's right. Now, what's a shark got? How can you eat a shark?
Obviously, because it doesn't have any scale.
Exactly. It's got fins. A big old fin up there. Exactly right, sis. Yes.
I don't know why people even choose to eat puffer fish, because you can only get a little bit of meat out of it.
Because of all of the little stickers on them.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And you know why? I'm getting off the subject. It puffs itself up so other animals can't eat it. That's what I've read and found out. But anyway, sis, go ahead.
Squid, octopus, any type of cephalopod.
All right. Get the technicals on. What was that?
Squid and octopus, they cephalopods.
Spell that.
Cephalopods.
I think that means what that has its own skeleton. Has an internal.
They don't have.
They don't have a skeleton. I'm sorry. No exoskeleton. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's what that scientific is.
I
Good.
like them.
All right. No, you're right. Right. I think that's what it is. So anyway, the Bible what it does is just say, forget all that. If it ain't got no scales or no fins, don't eat it. And there's plenty of things to eat. Well, one sister said salmon, right? That's good fish. Name another.
Flounder.
Flounder, yeah. I mean, we go on and on and on and on and on. And name one more.
Cod.
Cod, there you go. So we know in ISUPK, we know what to eat and what not to eat. And finally, since we're on that, and you guys talked about that, daga. Those are fish of the sea, okay? Let me see. Y'all write that down there. Let's make sure. Well, we got a whole lot of things up in here, but we'll get to something else. We got all off my real legitimate starting questions. Everything's relevant and legitimate. We talking about the things that beset us. That's exactly right. Swine can do that. You can definitely have a bunch of demons that keep you eating pig. And the wrong kind of fish, no scales, no fins, as pointed out in Leviticus 11 and 10, the God, that can mess you up too. All right, hold a second. Lock, give me a second. Okay. Let me see here. Make sure, I'm trying to look up a translation here. Make sure. Right here. Yeah, okay. They call it, let me put another vowel on there. The ga. Another sound on there. There you go. The ga, okay? That'd be a better translation of it. And the ga, and let's get some room up here. Let's break this down. No scales, no fins, and that's the ga. Let's put it up in here. Leviticus 11th chapter, we know we're talking about. Let's put the ga up here. Da, ga. Okay? The ga. That means fish in Hebrew. Okay? And we'll break it down here real quick. Da, let's use another, I got that spell kind of messed up there. Yes, sis?
Does clownfish have scales?
Does who?
Does a clownfish have scales?
I'm not sure. You mean like,
They do have scales.
it might. You're gonna fall, man.
They do have scales.
It might. I didn't look it up, sis, but these things that you can go and look up clownfish and look up fins and scale, because the computer nowadays can make you see a lot of this stuff, but it's good to know. It'll be so many times I'll be here all night trying to name all of them. But I from what I think, a clownfish is like with the stripes on it. I think it's mainly Hawaiian and areas that are tropical, and I think it does, but don't quote me on that, okay? I'm sorry, so I don't know, that's the point. The ga, so da, ga, da, ga, and then we're gonna put, there's a ha, let's put a, like that. That's the word for a fish, okay? The ga. No fins and scales, of course. No scales. And I mean, I didn't mean to get up with that, but when you guys talk about weights that easily beset you and set you down, these are some of the things, these are weights that can cause demons and so, yes, sis?
So now you, verse 10 is describing what not to eat.
Okay.
And verse 9 is describing that you can't eat those of fin and scale in the rivers and the sea. Right, exactly. Well, let's read that. Let's get on with that. Let's find that. Let's get on it. Exactly right. Leviticus, let's go back to Leviticus. 11th chapter, where we were at. Verse 9. Okay. These shall ye all eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales. In the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Okay? And of course, verse 10, all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and all that move on the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. So the Most High ain't playing around. When he says don't eat them, they're abominable. He's going to judge you for that, you know. Don't tell him what happened to you. So, da, independent connector, right? And then we're going to say ga, just like that. Da ga. Fish. Now, in this case, that's fish. So how will we make that plural? Online and in class. Online. Let's wake y'all up. Make sure y'all still doing this. Dina, Adrian, Ayana. Who else? Lamore David. Barah, Sarah. And some brothers. And whoever I didn't name, I can't remember. How do we make, if this is fish, if fish says by itself, if I want to put fishes, ES, how would I do that? Yum.
Yum. There you go. Dagayam. See, now that's how you learn in class. If you didn't know this a month ago, now you know. Now you begin to understand Dagayam. So that changed the word a little bit. So we gotta Daga, Ya, right? Ya. Ya, and then And now let's do this one in Hebrew. I'm sorry, Assyrian. We ain't worked on that all night. Let's do it. We got rid of the swine here. We threw him away. We're on fish now. We're on Dagayam. Okay, let's find out Dagayam. Dagayam. Did I do that right? No. Da. Ga. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. That is right. Just like that. Da. So we're going to join the D and the A. It'll be by itself. Independent connector. The Ga and the H has to be joined together as a dependent connector. And Yam is the Y, and the A is Ya, and the M is Ma. So Yam. So let's see what we got online here. Replying to Dina McCall, no skills. Yeah. Replying to Dina. I don't understand what you're saying. Replying to Dina McCall, no skills. Right. Sis, I think if you're asking me in Leviticus, what was that, 10 and 11? 11 and 10? Leviticus Was 11 and 10? It's 11. Was it 10? Was it 10? Sis?
Yes.
10, right. Okay. 11 and 10. Gotcha. And of course, if you have to read 9 and whatever. But Dina, are you saying scales? That's correct, exactly right. To eat a clean fish, it has to have fins and scales. The clean fish, let's make sure, make no mistake about it. The clean fish have to have fins and scales. Salmon, flounder, cod, just are some of our examples, okay? And we named some bad examples like eels and catfish and whoever knows what else. Pufferfish.
Is whales a unclean food?
Yeah, and whale is a mammal also, of course. And there are people, wow, there are people like a lot of the people from Japan, Moab and Ammon is Japan. They eat a lot of whales, things like that. They take the blubber, they make oil and stuff like that. But that is not something that you're supposed to ingest, you know. We're talking about what you can eat. Since we're on that subject, I know a lot of people in there, so that's why I stayed on this subject. Okay, so clean. It has to have fins and scales, Sister Dina. Right? So make sure. Dagayam, that means fish. With the plural, fishes. And so we'll write that in Assyrian. In Assyrian it's da. Did I write that right? Boy, I got this all messed up here. I'm Slocky. I apologize. It's da. Gayam. There you go. Lock it. Now in Assyrian it'll be this. Da. Oh, I messed. I'm sorry. Slocky for a mess. Slocky if I messed you guys' notes up. I apologize. Da. I guess that's what I get for not writing in different colors, because I get myself mixed up on some of these. Da, and it's ga, like that. I think what I was trying to do is I wrote that in Assyrian. That's what I did. So let's go ahead and write that in the ga. The ga. Let's back up here for a second. Da. Let's start over here. Well, I'll tell you this that's it. Da, ga. This is paleo. Let's do it this way. Da, ga, and then we'll write like this. There we go. There we go. Lock it. That's the correct way to do that. Da, this is paleo. Slovakia. Sorry. Paleo is da, ga, and then yam. And over here in Hebrew, Assyrian would be this. Da. Okay. And then we're going to write a G like this. This is Assyrian. Maybe I don't know. I was approaching it wrong or something like that. I'm sorry. It's like da, ga. And then we write a like this, da ga. Then we write a ya. Then we write this. What is that called at the end there? Anybody know? In Assyrian, da ga yam. Why is that M like that? Think about it. Instead of being like this. They're both M's, but why did I put the M at the end here? In Assyrian now, like that. Yes.
It's because this particular mom is the ending connector mom.
Exactly. Right here. This is right. That's what she's written. The any connector, it's Ma, right there. That's what she's done. That's what she said. Give that sister a hand. She's been answering so many questions tonight and online. Your sister's been answering replying to them. Yeah, your sisters online and brothers online, sisters in class have been answering questions, gotten it right. You guys let me know that you guys learning this stuff here. So the paleo, it's lucky if I wrote something down wrong, I apologize to you. The paleo is da ga yum. Assyrian would be the D, da, ga, and the H, ha, yum. Name connector is that M there, okay? All right? Da ga yum. Yeah. And these are the things that are abominable if you if it don't have fins and scales, which is clean, then it's abominable. It's simple as that. We'll give you a chance to write that down. The fish of the sea. How you say fish again?
Naga.
Daga. How you say fishes?
Naga.
Why? So plural is yam. Excuse me. And you know, and people, you know, I can get into writing down what sound is found in the car, but you know, just call it a fish. See, I mean, I can translate fins and scales. That's what you need to know. Then anybody else when they say, what kind of fish is it? You know. So that's good. So we got this, guys, right? So we still land aside all these ways. We don't want to eat bad. We don't eat wrong. So Leviticus, the 11th chapter, sis, and all the brethren, Ak and Akwathim, don't forget, Leviticus 11th chapter tells you what clean to eat and what not. You don't eat no pigs. You don't eat no fish without. I mean, there are other things in there. I mean, we didn't go all over it. We just kind of put down some more weights. I mean, you know, a lot of things you can't eat: bats, owls, cats, dogs, rats. I mean, you can't eat all that stuff. It's not good for you because Leviticus tells you not to eat it. So, but we got down to. We got a few more seconds in class here. We'll throw a little bit out for you. Let's do this. See, let's refresh. Since this is the first of the month, let's do a little bit of refresher here and see what you guys know. You guys did a Tawab job on the let us lay aside every weight that easily beset us out of Hebrews 12:1. So let's go over just a little bit real quick here, some number systems, see if you guys remember. Okay? Number 1. Remember this? Akkad. Right? Remember that one? That's the number 1. Right? Akkad means one, or first. Just one. Okay? What's the next one? Anybody remember? Start with an A, a S. Okay? So, anybody remember? Online, you guys remember what the number 2 is in Hebrew? Start with an S. Online, your sisters and brothers over there, tell me what it is, online. If Akkad is 1, since well, maybe just do a little refresh, yes, sis. Shanya? Shanya, right? Sister got it right. Shanya. I don't care how you get it. I don't care how you get it. Just tell me. Tell me what it is. All right, what's 3? Got another one over here. Start with an S. Yes? Shalash. Your sister got it. I don't care how you get it, sis. Just make as long as you got it. Shalash. She's right. So far, she's on a roll. All right, come on, people online. Y'all catch up with us here in class. What are we doing? Let's catch up with us. All right, then we got, start with an A. What's number 4? Sis?
Rabbi, wash your hands.
Okay.
Rabbi.
That what you gonna say? All right. Ah, ra, bye. That's 4, right? Who knows what 5 is? Start with a C.
Wait.
Kamash. Sis learning here. I like when people are learning. That tells me that I'm teaching something right. I'm trying. You guys, y'all grading me right now. Okay? What about 6? Yes, sis? Shasha. Sha. Shasha. Very good. What about 7? Go ahead, sis. Shemai. Okay. Very good, sis. You got that one right. And so, and that 7 is like when we use for Sabbath, we say, how you spell that? Shabai. I think it's that. Is that right? Shabai? Okay, good. Sometimes I'll forget. Now here's a hard one. Ooh, this is gonna be a hard one. Hard to pronounce. Y'all raise your hand like y'all know what that is, huh? Where's my, let me erase these out. Let me make sure y'all got these written down as a review, and then I'm gonna erase them and I'm gonna get to number 8. Okay? We got Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai. 5 is Kamash. 6 is Shashah. 7 is Shabbat. It's like a review here, since we got a few seconds in class here. Okay? If you didn't, y'all make sure you write these down online. So next time we go over this, we're gonna count all the way up to 1,000 sometime. I ain't gonna tell you when, we'll surprise you. We laid aside every weight. Now we had all this weight that we done put down, the eating, the demons, the churches and the Sunday churches and all this stuff. We ain't gotta do this no more.
You don't have to do those holidays anymore.
Sis, raise your hand.
You need to do those holidays and those bad stuff.
Holidays, that's exactly right. No holidays. What else you say?
And those bad stuff tell us people that tell us if we don't do it.
Right, and bad things, exactly right. The holidays, so, and even in voting, that's something that you shouldn't even do because we ain't got no candidate for us. So what's the point? You know? So, what were we at? 8? Very good, sis. 8? All right, what's 8? Who knows?
Sean.
Break it down. Tell me exactly what it is. Shah. Shama.
Shamalana.
Shamawana. Is that what it is? I think. Is that how you spell it? Is that right?
I have it in my notes without the H at Y. So Shah, Ma, W-A-Y, Na, N-A-H.
Let me look at my notes because sometimes I mess up. I probably got it written down on that board over there also. Say it again, sis. What do you got?
Shah,
What I got written down over here? Can't
Y, W-A, Na, N-A-H.
For some reason, I think there's an H on there. Let me look up this. Been so long since I wrote the vowel for the numbers. Ooh. Lock, bear with me for a second here. Let's make sure, because, okay, there it is. Yeah, you're right. Shama, what? Oh, I got this all messed up, though. Shama, right there, and it's wa, and it's na. Okay, got it right. I don't know what I had there. Anyway, there it is. Shama wana, yes, sis. Huh? I didn't hear you, sis. What? Oh, okay, what's the next number, sis? Yes, go ahead. Huh? The shy. Very good. Go ahead, sis. You got it. Like that? What's the last one, sis? Ishara. Isha. Is it Rai?
Ra.
Is it A or I?
A.
Asharai. Okay, and those are your numbers there. And of course, we're not going to go too much further than them, but I hope online you guys have gotten some of those. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, but I think that's kind of like, ooh. Yeah, we're getting down to 8:45, and we'll review. We'll actually have any questions, but I believe that you guys really understand the Hebrew a little bit better. You know, we went over something left sided, easy, every weight that easy beset us, and we went over the number system, of course, a little bit, and we'll conclude it right about here. Of course, you can count on further. Well, here's one. Let's see. Since you're there, how would you write the number 11? Anybody? This ought to catch you. How you write the number 11? We'll put it right here. Online, how would you do it? You guys remember? I give you for hints. You have to put two sounds together, or two of them together to make it happen. Right? How would you write the number 11? I mean, what is 11? 11 is what? 10 plus 1, or in this case, we want to say 1 plus 10. So how would we write 11?
You mean writing it like this, like how you have the rest of the words written out?
In Hebrew. How would you write it in Hebrew?
Akadashara.
Akadashara. There you go. Get that, Sister Ann. All right. Akkad. Sister in class here, it says Akkad Asherah. And what that means is you're saying Akkad is 1. Right here. Plus 10, Asherah, makes 11. Simple as that. So once you begin to know the base 10, if you learn all 10 of these, you can count up to 100. If you count to 100,
You'll be a pro.
huh?
You'll be a pro.
Raise your hand, sis. Raise your hand. Here you go, like this. 100, yeah, you would be a pro. It's Maya. So, and that's where it will change, of course. When we get to 99, you know, they would say the Shah, they would say Asharayam will make it plural, which how would you write 20? Anybody remember? Now you didn't press me if you can remember that. You really impressed me more. Let's put it that way. Yes, sis.
I should write you.
There you go. Give that sister another hand. She's been on top of it here. I, Ra. And she remembered that Yam makes it plural. Now, once you got a plural, now you carry that plural all the way through. Like a QADASH, 21, and so on and so forth. Okay? I think we reached the end of the class here. Hope we had a wild class. If you had a nice time in class, if you really learned something in class, let's clap it up. South Carolina, ISUPK. That's what we done. That's what we learned in class online with all the sisters. Ayana, Lamar David, Barah, Sarah, Dina, Adrian, and some more people that I might have forgotten, and the host of class mates here in class. We've enjoyed, we've learned, we understood Hebrews 12 and 1. We went on something 10 and 1, Hosea, you know, and we talked about, let's see, what Sister Adrian got here. Sister Adrian, yes, thank you, Sister Adrian. Sister Adrian, give us hand claps. She gives the good sis. Clap it up. That's what we did in class. Okay? So let's talk about some security announcement here. We are the ISUPK, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Roof of the brother and sister. We are, when a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits. They're for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months, period, excuse me, sloppy. The brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 and 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. That's where we get asharah, see? It means 10th. Ma, it means of the 10th. Okay? 10% of every penny, an increase, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. The priest fund is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upholding convocation, we'll read here. The upholding convocation, we're going to have, before we get to Hanukkah, we're going to get the feast of, let's see, Leviticus. Got one feast coming up here real soon. October 1st, no, we done that. Feast of Dedication. The Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, 25th day of the 9th month, in the space of 8 days. Wednesday, December 9th, 2020 for 8 days. First Maccabees 4, 52 and 61. Of course, we'll have Purim the following year there, and that'll be Thursday. But the next feast, the next feast we'll have is the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. Okay? That'll be Wednesday, December 9th, 2020, 8 days. First Maccabees 4, 52 and 61. So, we've clapped it up, we've enjoyed ourselves. So, see what were the last comments that we may have here online. Thank you so much. I've already learned a lot for this first day. Good. Lamar Davis said, thank you so much. You've learned a lot. We expect to see you back in class, all right? Lamar David, expect to see you back in class. Don't let this be your first time. Get your Hebrew name, okay? So, with ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. For that we say, Shalom.
Shalom.